Hi everyone, today I'm talking about Beyond Meats, which is a really hot stock right now that a lot of people are talking about. And if you don't know what Beyond Meat is, it's a meatless product and it has got a lot of interest because it had a lot of big backers, big celebrity name backers that back the product. And this stock shot up absolutely huge after its IPO and it went all the way up to about $234. And then it came down to about $79 where it is about right now. And we can see that it's a big, massive falling knife trend that's going on right now. And it'd be very interesting to see where this stock has bottomed out. But we can see it has had a big, massive discount. And now is it a good opportunity to go buy Beyond Meat stock? So I'm going to do some good points about the stock. And then I'm going to talk some bad points about this company and this stock. And then overall, I'll give my opinion at the end of the video if I'm going to go buy these shares. But this week, I've had quite a bit of a deep dive into the company and get a good knowledge of the company. And if it's a good opportunity now to go buy because it is on quite a bit of a discount. So the good points with Beyond Meats is that it is looking at some big, massive potential deals. Some of these deals are with McDonald's, which would be probably the biggest one of them all, because if you manage to get some sort of product, if Beyond Meats have a vegetarian burger in McDonald's, it would be absolutely huge for the company. And also, it is also having tests with KFC and Subway, which would also be another great bonus for Beyond Meats to have some partnership with them. That would pretty much, I'm pretty sure, would make a massive difference on their revenue side if they're able to have some products with them restaurants. Another point is that they also do have a deal with Dunkin' Donuts, but I think they're actually called Dunkin' now and not Dunkin' Donuts, but they have a deal with Dunkin' Donuts that will start sometime soon, which will be a massive deal for them. And also another thing when we talk about Beyond Meats is that, you know what, I really like the branding and I think the branding really stands out. And in this sort of sector, you do have to have really strong branding. And I do like the Beyond Meats branding. And also what I've heard from people that have tried Beyond Meats products is that they say that the product is actually a pretty good product overall. And that's really important, that in this sort of industry that you're able to have a good product, because after all, it's really important to keep customers coming back. And everyone that I've heard that has tried the Beyond Meat products have also said it's a good product. And they do have a variety of products and they do have a variety of vegetarian options of different meats, which is fantastic as well. Now, when we do look at the actual revenue and EPS side of it, they currently don't have a P because they are not making profit at the moment. But they are scheduled to make profit in 2020, which is only a year away, so that's pretty good. And it's going to be quite a healthy profit. So it looks like there's definitely going to be profit in 2020, which is going to be really good. It looks like it's going to be quite a big beat on 2020. Also, the earnings were pretty good. The EPS was a good beat. The revenue was a good beat as well, so no shocks there. And also, when we look at the revenue, and this is probably why the stock is trading so high at these prices, is because the revenue is going to be insanely growing. It is going to be nearly towards 100% revenue growth, which is something you don't come across too much. So that obviously is going to be something fantastic for the company going forward. Now, there is a few negatives with the stock, and I'll go through these with you. The first thing is that I was quite surprised by this, and it's quite difficult to try and get the correct numbers of this, which is something to be careful of. But the vegetarian growth is only about 6%. Now, this has been argued that it could be a little bit lower, a little bit higher than 6%, but 6% growing market isn't fantastic. It's not bad either. But I was quite surprised because I thought it would be a lot. I thought it would be a double-digit growth area right now. It seems like it's a very talked about sector. When I found out it was only about 6%, I thought that took me by surprise. So that's something to be careful of. Also, in general, there's only about 3% of vegetarians in a country. So that's quite a small market as well. And when you think about if it's 3% and you're pretty much relying on probably getting about 10% of that market at least, the numbers are pretty small in general. So it seems like the market size isn't absolutely huge. That's something to be careful of. And also, there's a lot more competition in that sector as well. It's been a very fast amount of companies that have been popping up in that sector. And since 2014, the amount of companies that have been in that kind of sector now have doubled since 2014, which means there's going to be a lot of competition for Beyond Meats in that sector. And when you look at the sector's only growing 6%, but the amount of competition has nearly doubled. I mean, that potentially could be due to the actual products that were in the sector were pretty naff. I mean, I remember only 10 years ago, the amount of vegetarian products and fake meat products were terrible, and people used to go, oh, they taste actually all right, and they didn't. I'll be honest, I used to have a few of them and I was like, these taste absolutely awful. I used to have a friend that was vegetarian and they used to have fake meat products and I was like, oh, it tastes like the real thing, doesn't it? And I was like, you can tell you don't eat the real thing that often. They were poor. So there has been a need for a good company to come in this sector. At the same time, there's a lot more competition now as well. But that's probably because of how poor the products were in that sector originally. And one of the worrying thing for me as well is like this company is only going to do about 200 million revenue this year, which is pretty small, really. When we actually talk about some decent revenue numbers, when we start getting into the billions, that's where it kind of interests me a little bit more. Even next year, it's only going to do about 450 million or something around them lines. So at them kind of numbers, it's a pretty small revenue, really, which is kind of worrying. And the IPO was $25, and we look at this company now, and it's still pretty much at quite a high $79. And the price to sale means that it's going to be at about 22 right now, which is extremely high, because normally companies are, single digit at least, and low single digits as well. So 22 is a very high price to sales as well. We look at how much it originally got valued at, and it's at these prices, it's still nearly triple the IPO price, and it's a company that's only doing 200 million revenue. So that's a really small company, really, in terms of investing into stocks, and a stock that's at $79 and the revenue is only $200. It's a pretty expensive stock price for this sort of company. Now, my overall opinion with Beyond Meats is that I actually really like the company. I like what they're doing, I like the management, I like the branding, I like the potential deals they have are fantastic. I like the growth, I like how they're nearly going to make profit, or they're going to make profit in 2020, which is fantastic. And everything from this kind of view as a growth company is everything I would look for, and I think that's fantastic. If we take away the price, I'm interested in that stock. When we actually put the price back on and we're talking about this stock is $79, then I'm like, now this is where my problem is that it's a very expensive stock. Don't get me wrong, fantastic what's going on with the company. $79 is really expensive in my opinion for this stock. And you know what? I would like to buy Beyond Meat. I think it is a company that would be a good investment. I've got to kind of just put it though to the risk to reward side of it, and I look at this and I think I'm taking on a lot of risk with this company. And at these prices, I don't know how much risk to reward there is. So from my point of view is like, I would like to invest in this company, but the only time I would invest in this company is if the stock price does go down from $79. I'd be more comfortable getting in this stock around about the $30 to $40 mark. And obviously that's nearly half the price as what it is right now. So I don't think I'll buy Beyond Meats, even though I'd like to. And if it does drop down to these prices, then I will buy some shares in the company. But I don't think it will do. But I do like the company. But for me at the moment, the price isn't right for me to get in. But it's one I will track because, like I say, if it does drop quite a bit, more than what it already has, then I will go buy the stock. But like I say, I don't think that will happen at the moment. So that's my opinion about Beyond Meats, guys. I hope it helped you if you're looking into the stock. If you could give the video a like, that'd be amazing. Subscribe if you haven't. And I'll see you in the next video.